Oh, man. I just realized what I did. I did it again. All right. So, for those of you hanging out on Live 365 and on the stream side, we are about to kick things off. I just realized I forgot to do something on the radio side. So, hang on just 1 second. Got distracted doing everything else and forgot to do one very important thing. All right, so here we go.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign. KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
I am Conor McGregor, multiple weight MMA champion. I'm a fighter and I've been through many battles in the octagon. Many consider my fights in the octagon heroic, but the real life heroes are those men and women who fight to protect us every day. The real life fighters, the real life heroes are the firefighters and police officers. These first responders are true heroes because these brave men and women put themselves in the line of danger every single day protecting us all. The Tunnel to Towers Foundation ensures that first responders from fire, EMS and police departments who are killed in the line of duty with young children have a home without the burden of a mortgage. They are my heroes. They need our help today. I'd like to ask you to join me in donating $11 a month to support their efforts. Your $11 a month honors and supports our first responders. Please call now at 1-844-BRAVEST or visit tunneltotowers.org.
Hi, I'm Mike, founder of DollarShaveClub.com. What is DollarShaveClub.com? Well, for $1 a month, we send high-quality razors right to your door. Yeah, $1. Are the blades any good? No. Our blades are f***ing great. Each razor has stainless steel blades, an aloe vera lubricating strip, and a pivot head. It's so gentle a toddler could use it. And do you like spending $20 a month on brand name razors? 19 go to Roger Federer. I'm good at tennis. And do you think your razor needs a vibrating handle, a flashlight, a back scratcher, and 10 blades? Your handsome-ass grandfather had 1 blade and polio. Looking good, pop up! Stop paying for shave tech you don't need. And stop forgetting to buy your blades every month. Alejandro and I are going to ship them right to you. We're not just selling razors, we're also making new jobs. Alejandro, what were you doing last month?
Not working.
What are you doing now?
Working.
I'm no Vanderbilt, but this train makes hay. So stop forgetting to buy your blades every month and start deciding where you're going to stack all those dollar bills I'm saving you. We are DollarShaveClub.com, and the party is on.
I know karate, I know jiu-jitsu, I drive like a gangster when I'm coming to see you.
The following program contains coarse language and adult themes. Listener discretion is advised.
I take a breath, I'm not gonna lose. This is what I came here to do.
Keep on doing what you do, Rick. You're my favorite host. Favorite.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. and I'm all out of bubble.
It's time to hear the truth about America's biggest challenges. You're listening to America Off the Rails with your host, Rick Robinson.
Good evening, America, and welcome to the program. I am Rick Robinson. We are live, and for those of you catching us on the streams, you can see my face. You may want to turn away. There's a reason I used to say that I had a face made for radio and a voice made for print. Anyway, so we're here, we're live, and we're going to start changing things up a bit here. I have been avoiding this step for years, but the entire podcast world has moved to video, and I have still been dragging my feet and insisting that we do only audio because have you seen this face? Well, you have now. But there's a reason why. I don't like how I look on camera. I don't like how I look in most pictures. Yet I kind of feel like for me to do what I'm trying to do, I have to make that leap, which means I'm going to be opening myself to ridicule because, yes, I admit I am not the perfect specimen of manhood. I have put on weight. I'm 51 years old. I used to be in really good shape, not really anymore. I have an eye that sometimes does a little thing over here. If you guys want to make fun of it, that's fine. I don't really care. I could have had it fixed. I chose not to because I've been on the table 3 times in my life and died twice. I don't want any more surgeries if I can avoid them. So I'm okay with it. Throw whatever you have at me. I don't care. That's not why I do this. I don't do this to try to bring attention to myself. I do this because I feel like there are things that we should be talking about that granted more people are talking about now than when I started doing this. A lot of people don't know this, but I've been doing this for going on 17 years in one form or another. And a lot of people weren't talking about the things that I was talking about. Now they are. I'm not taking any credit for that. I promise. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying I've been doing this for a long time. It's just taken me a lot longer to get to the same place as so many other people because they've been doing it with backing and support and funding and everything else. And I've been scratching and clawing. And for the longest time was doing this part-time and then working full-time and trying to raise a family too. Well, the family's pretty much raised itself. I've officially retired from my day job about 9 months ago, and I've just decided, you know what, now's the time. This is the time that we're either going to do this thing full time or we're going to find something else to do because I'm going nuts with it. And to be quite frankly honest, if we don't change course, it won't matter because we're all going to wind up in friggin' re education camps. And I don't say that lightly. This is not something that I say in jest. This is not something that I say because, oh, look at me. I'm trying to be cool. I'm trying to be edgy. You know what? I heard somebody say that today, and that pisses me off because I heard somebody in a spaces, and I'm not going to mention any names, but I was listening to a spaces before I went live. If you follow me, you probably saw which one I was in. I'm still not mentioning any names. But they were talking about how the only way you can get attention on social media is either by sex or being edgy. I don't care about any of that. I'm not trying to be edgy. I'm not trying to be one of those guys that says, ooh, I found my gotcha and I'm going to spread it everywhere. No, that's not what I'm trying to do. So if that's what you're looking for, this isn't the show for you. I am going to talk to you about things that upset me. I'm going to talk to you about things that I think should upset you. And speaking of people that are upset, Aggie, if she's watching right now, is mad that I didn't iron my flag. I told her I would iron it before I went on camera, but I decided, yeah, you know, I'm a guy. Things are supposed to look wrinkled around here. Not really. But honestly, it was just one of those things of I made the decision last minute to turn my camera on. I wasn't really planning on going live video wise until tomorrow. But I decided, what the hell? I might as well do it tonight and get the ridicule out of the way because, you know, occasional stunt double for the Michelin Man. Just saying, it actually used to be part of my bio. Oh, we also have more than one camera. So in case you don't like this angle of my face, you could also see this one too. Reasons. But anyway, so we're here, we're live, and there's plenty of things that I want to talk about with you tonight. We only have an hour, so I should probably get started instead of goofing off with you guys about me being on camera. So I now am living in a world where I saw something I thought I would never see. And that is watching conservatives being mad because Donald Trump was talking about taking care of taxes for a group of people. And I have seen people that I know personally talking about how this is just a gimmick, like Joe Biden trying to do away with student loan debt is a gimmick. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't really care what Donald Trump's motivations are. I could care less what his motivations are. What I care about is people that I know that are in this type of industry that barely get paid anything, that have to have the tips to survive and have not only their regular wages tipped, which are nothing compared to what you and I usually see, but then also have are taxed, but then usually also have to have their tips taxed. And this whole thing is, and I keep seeing this, well, most people that I know that do cash tips, they don't report them. A lot of jobs make you now, or you can be fired. And this is my thing with all of this. And this is one of the, again, this is one of the reasons why I started doing this show. I was somebody with more libertarian leanings, and I was always told that taxation was theft, which is true. But as I was also told that taxation was unconstitutional, even by Libertarian Party representatives, which I still happen to be a member of because I think it gives me the ability to more easily give both major parties a hard time. So I've stayed a libertarian on purpose. I align more conservative conservative than most. I think I am a lot more fiscally conservative. In a lot of ways, I'm socially liberal because things like homosexuality don't bother me. That is something between a person and their particular God that they worship. And if they don't worship one, at some point they're going to come face to face with one. And I'm pretty sure I know which one they're going to come face to face with. But that's not my job. So I don't worry about what consenting adults do behind closed doors. What I worry about is the fact that they keep trying to push this on everyone. And I've said this about all of it. Look, if there are shows and places that you can go to see sex if that's what you want to see, but I don't want to see it on every single show. It doesn't need to be there. Whether it's hetero, whether it's heterosex, homosex, I don't care. I don't care. It doesn't need to be there. There are certain shows that have to have it for the plot, and those people that watch those shows know that, but not every show has to have it in there. But that's kind of what we're dealing with right now is with this whole thing is everything is being foisted upon everyone. And I think some of this ties back to exactly what I was going into a moment ago because again, we live in a time that I thought I would never see because now we have conservatives screaming and yelling about people having their tips removed from the tax base, conservatives screaming and yelling about it, which I don't understand. But that's part of what led to this whole I think that's part of what led to the 16th Amendment in the first place. Even back then, the Republicans misunderstood or didn't really grasp the idea of groupthink that the Democrats were counting on because when the 16th Amendment was ratified, it was 1% it was a 1% tax on the highest earners only, and it was never supposed to go up and never supposed to be modified. So they put it in front of the states, and 37 states ratified it. Now we have the 16th Amendment. Fun times. So taxation is not unconstitutional, despite what the libertarians try to tell you. So this is my issue. I don't care if it's a gimmick where Donald Trump is hoping to get younger votes. I don't care what his motivation is. I care that it's being done because taxation is theft, and I believe that every form of federal tax should be removed. There were already taxation mechanisms built into the states and local municipalities. Those were supposed to be enough. The American people were supposed to be able to decide what our government spent money on by our government coming to us, as it should have always had to do, hat in hand, and saying, please, sir, we would like to build some more roads. Can we have some more of your money to do so? And then we decide whether we're going to do that or not. That's how this was supposed to work. We were the ultimate voice of the people, by the people, and for the people. These people were supposed to work for us. When the 16th Amendment was passed, that was the first step to make that change. I don't even necessarily want to say the first step, but it was the biggest step to make that change because we became the batteries for the very system that we were trying to fight. Because we started funding all of their pet projects without our consent. Well, Rick, you still have consent. It's just, you just vote the people out that are doing what you don't want. Have you seen how hard that actually is to do? Congress as a whole is less popular than a hooker with VD, and yet everybody's individual Congress critters are the greatest Congress critters of all time. Do you not understand what we're up against? Groupthink is a very, very bad and very dangerous thing. It really is. That's just all there is to it. All right. So that's going to do it for the monologue. There's one bit I want to get to first. I think I already have it queued up. I'm trying to remember which one it is. I think, yeah, okay. I think it's this one. Nope, it's not that one. Hang on. Is it this one? Yep, it's this one. All right, so we're going to do, well, actually, hang on. Going to have to do this first so we can change over to that one. It looks like it's already full screen for you guys. So one moment, please. Too many tabs. All right, here we go.
Are you ready to win this country back? And are you ready to fight for peace and I don't know about y'all, but I am ready to fight. Let's hear it. Let's real quick. Thank you, everybody.
All right, so did she have a stroke there? Is that what happened? Did she have a stroke? Because I kind of feel like she had a stroke. I don't know what happened, but I kind of feel like she had a stroke. And I don't know what happened to my scene there. Because anyway, hang on. Let's do that. All right. Anyway, so did she have a stroke there in the middle? Because it kind of really seemed like she had a stroke there in the middle. Was it just me? Maybe it was just me. Now that wasn't the only interesting point about that whole situation, and we'll get to that one in a second. But I really want to talk about this because why is it that when Donald Trump or somebody is forceful in a rally, then it's, oh my God, he's unhinged. Oh my God, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Oh my God, he's so angry. But these people do it and it's fine. Why is that okay? Why is there a difference between the left and the right with how it is viewed when someone is being less than cordial, I guess is another way to put it. And there's a reason I'm asking this question, because the next bit that we're going to be talking about is actually from Jamal Bowman himself. And he actually talks about some of the things that I'm talking about right now, where, you can't expect me to do this when this, and this, but you guys expect that of the other side still. This is one of the things that I was trying to explain to people once I understood it, because I admit I didn't get it in 2015, 2016 either. When Donald Trump was bulling the China shop, smashing heads and taking names, I did not like it. It wasn't anything that I had seen before. It wasn't anything that I was used to. And there were things that he said when he was running for office the first time that absolutely terrified me. It's one of the reasons why I did throw my full support behind the Libertarian Party and help them get on the ballot here in Oklahoma. I even had the head of the Libertarian Party on this show multiple times in 2015, 2016 to try to give people an alternative, or what I thought would be an alternative, until I believe it was I think it was the last time he was on this show, which was the fourth time. He basically said to me on a break, I know what it is that you're trying to do, and we don't really want disaffected Republicans in our party. And I'm like, well, as far as I knew, I thought it was my party too, since I just joined you, but that's okay. We'll finish out this segment, and this will be the last time that you guys will be on my show, and that's fine. And I've kept my word. They haven't been on since, and they have, in my opinion, in a lot of ways, gone so far socially left that I don't even recognize them anymore. But I'm not the only one facing those issues with my party. Hell, John Fetterman, who I used to make fun of on a daily basis on this program and all the other ones that I do, on a daily basis, has now basically told all of America, for anybody willing to listen, that I didn't leave the progressive movement. The progressive movement left me, because what they're doing now inside the progressive movement does not make any sense. All right, so let me get this next bit queued up here. All right, so I think I found the one that I'm looking for. And full screen it.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, New York? What's up? What's up? What's up? So, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your love. Thank you for believing in me personally. But most importantly, thank you for believing in this movement, y'all. Because our movement is more powerful than their money. Our people are more powerful than their power. And it's time for us to show them the real power of the people, y'all. So we gonna roll up our sleeves. And we gonna let the guns out. And we gonna let them know how strong and powerful and mighty we are. Because when we come together as a people, across race, across class, across background, across religion, when we come together as a people, we cannot be stopped, y'all. And we will not be stopped. We are here. Let me tell you why we are here. We are at this moment in American history because of all of the work we all have done throughout our entire lives. We have been organizing for justice. We have been organizing for housing as a human right, for health care as a human right, for criminal justice reform, and to get fucking big money out of politics. And because they see the power of our movement, they are spending more money than has ever been spent in American history, y'all. But they are the money, we are the mighty. They are the money, we are the many. And they will not stop us. No matter what, we will not be stopped. Now, some of you know I was an educator before going to Congress. Shout out to education. And I started my career
This
not
explains
too
so
far
much.
from here. So before I go any further, I need you to rock with me for a second. South Bronx, 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 South Bronx. Ho. That was weak, y'all. We are in the South Bronx. We are in the South Bronx. This is the birthplace of hip-hop. I am the hip-hop congressman. I want to hear South Bronx chant right now. South Bronx, 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 South Bronx. We are going to show fucking APOC the power of the motherfucking South Bronx. People ask me why I got a foul mouth. after my family. You coming after my children. I'm not supposed to fight back. I'm not supposed to fight back. We're gonna show them who the fuck we are. We're gonna show them who the fuck we are.
My dude, you're already showing them who the fuck you are, and I don't think it's in the way that you wanted to. Oh, there's a language disclaimer on this one in case anybody missed it. I should probably start putting that in the X description just in case. But yeah. Anyway. So there you have two of the squad that are basically campaigning for one another. Now the scariest thing about this is look at how hard they're campaigning in the Bronx, the South Bronx. You know why he's campaigning so hard in the Bronx? Because there is a centrist Democrat primarying Jamal Bowman. And Jamal Bowman is pissed because this guy has the money and the backing of a lot of Israeli groups. I don't know what's going to happen in the primary. I know that my job will be a lot less fun without Jamal, fire alarm Bowman being around, but I think it's better for the Republic if he gets retired. I will say that now. I don't know how anybody else feels about it, but but that's pretty much where we are. All right, so we're going to go ahead and take the only break of this particular show. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we've got some footage from the Trump rally and some other things to talk about for the second half of the show. You are listening to The Rick Robinson Show, and we are live right here on klrnradio.com. And I forgot to load a bumper, so hang out with me for a second while I fix that. Haha, live radio. Gotta love that. I think we're going to do, we'll do this one. Why not? All right. So now we're queued up to take our break. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, still have plenty of things to talk about on the other side of the show. And now I remember why I didn't queue up a bumper, because I was going to play Cherry Bomb, because Sherry Curry followed me this week, y'all. I'm fanboying over here. All right. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
And would you not consider it a natural to be born outside the womb? Legally await your response and your best offense. La curadera is the young girl in our little dress of white. She dances on black sand in the night.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign. KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
I am Conor McGregor, multiple weight MMA champion. I'm a fighter and I've been through many battles in the octagon. Many consider my fights in the octagon heroic, but the real life heroes are those men and women who fight to protect us every day. The real life fighters, the real life heroes are the firefighters and police officers. These first responders are true heroes because these brave men and women put themselves in the line of danger every single day protecting us all. The Tunnel to Towers Foundation ensures that first responders from fire, EMS and police departments who are killed in the line of duty with young children have a home without the burden of a mortgage. They are my heroes. They need our help today. I'd like to ask you to join me in donating $11 a month to support their efforts. Your $11 a month honors and supports our first responders. Please call now at 1-844-BRAVEST or visit tunneltotowers.org.
Hi, I'm Mike, founder of DollarShaveClub.com. What is DollarShaveClub.com? Well, for $1 a month, we send high-quality razors right to your door. Yeah, $1. Are the blades any good? No. Our blades are f***ing great. Each razor has stainless steel blades, an aloe vera lubricating strip, and a pivot head. It's so gentle a toddler could use it. And do you like spending $20 a month on brand name razors? 19 go to Roger Federer. I'm good at tennis. And do you think your razor needs a vibrating handle, a flashlight, a back scratcher, and 10 blades? Your handsome-ass grandfather had 1 blade and polio. Looking good, pop up! Stop paying for shave tech you don't need. And stop forgetting to buy your blades every month. Alejandro and I are going to ship them right to you. We're not just selling razors, we're also making new jobs. Alejandro, what were you doing last month?
Not working.
What are you doing now?
Working.
I'm no Vanderbilt, but this train makes hay. So stop forgetting to buy your blades every month and start deciding where you're going to stack all those dollar bills I'm saving you. We are DollarShaveClub.com, and the party is on.
I know karate, I know jiu-jitsu, I drive like a gangster when I'm coming to see you, see you, see you, see you.
The following program contains coarse language and adult themes. Listener discretion is advised.
And welcome back into the final half of the America Off the Rails show right here live on KLRradio.com. We do this thing usually every Sunday. Last week, I did not, so I have some catch up to do. We did a poll over the week. We have the results in with an overwhelming majority. Everyone suggested that when Joe Biden retires, his next gig should be a scarecrow. Now we just need Bill Mummy to wish him into a cornfield. Would make life a lot easier instead of us having to find one. Also, I will have to probably do this tomorrow. I promised you guys that the winners of a Caption This contest that I did would be featured on America Off the Rails last week when I was sick. I know which one I want to feature. I just can't find it right now. So we'll do that probably on tomorrow's episode of the Rick Robinson Show, which will be live right here on KLRM Radio from 3 to 5 Eastern. We're going to get back into that. Also, if you would like to, you can also follow along with me on social media at RowdyRick73, and you can find me as a contributor on Twitchy.com, MisfitsPolitics.com, and the Loftus Party podcast. I do Michael Loftus's podcast that usually drops on Tuesdays, so I'll be working on that tomorrow to get it ready to go. Plus, I'm also a contributor at LoftusParty.com. Plus, on pretty much everything you see on the schedule on KLR Radio when it's working. KLRradio.com. I'm involved there somewhere. So yes, I do a lot of work. All right. So a couple things I want to get into before we play some of the Trump rally from last night that the human chihuahua has been, yipping about on X all day about, oh my God, look, you couldn't even fill it up, blah, 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 blah. And yeah, the only difference is Joe Biden wasn't able to fill the venue half as well as Trump. They just made it look better by basically putting drop claws around all the areas that weren't allowed to be filled because, fire code rules that they have, which that does seem kind of weird to me. I'm just going to be honest. If you've built a stadium, you would assume that you could fill it to capacity without violating fire code. But hey, what do I know about Philly? I don't live there. Used to be on the radio there back in the day. WNJC, which interestingly enough was one of Rush Limbaugh's first stations back in the day when he started doing syndication, but don't really fight the terrestrial game as much anymore because it's more fun to do things over here. I'm just going to be honest. Over here, I'm my own boss. I can do what I want to do. We should probably change that. Oh, we're back from break now. See, I get excited and start talking to you guys, then forget to do all the behind-the-scenes stuff. All right. So anyway, speaking of behind-the-scenes stuff, let's get this ready to go. Hang on. need to go over here. All right, so we're going to let a little bit of this play, and then we may have a couple other things to talk about on the way out the door. I just realized we're down to almost less than a little over 20 minutes, so I should probably hurry now. I'm used to doing 2 hours.
Now under crooked Joe Biden, the worst president in the history of our country, the world is in flames. Our border is overrun, inflation is raging, crime is out of control. Europe is in chaos, the Middle East is exploding, Iran is emboldened, China is on the march, and this horrible, horrible president is dragging us toward World War III. We're going to be in World War III soon. I see every movie he's making. Remember, Trump was right about everything. You see the cap? Trump was right. We're racing a clock. We're racing a clock. We'll be in World War III with this guy. That's why this November, the people of Pennsylvania are going to tell crooked Joe Biden, you're fired, get out, get out, you're fired. Few communities have suffered more under the Biden regime than Philadelphia. Under crooked Joe, the city of brotherly love is being ravaged by bloodshed and crime. 2 weeks ago, 9 people were shot in a single weekend, including 3 teenagers so seriously hurt. Murders in Philadelphia reached their highest level in 6 decades. Retail theft in Philly, I spent so much time here, is up 135% since I left office. The convenience stores are closing down left and right. The pharmacies have to lock up. The soap, there's soap. You want to buy a little bar of soap? You got to go through a big deal. Open up the glass, open up the steel. You can't keep a bar of soap. People walk in, they just take it. You can't buy toothpaste. You can't buy a toothbrush. You want a toothbrush, it takes you 45 minutes. Meanwhile, the schools are ranked 4th from the bottom in the entire nation, and crooked Joe has no plan to improve them, none whatsoever. By the way, we're moving the Department of Education back to the states, and we're going to do it quickly. And you know, some of our states are going to do a fantastic job with running education. If you think about it, we spend more per pupil than any other country in the world, and we're at the bottom of every list. So, as I used to say about a group that likes me very much, what the hell do you have to lose, right? We might as well do it. And we'll be able to cut education in half and get much better education. In some of the states, I could name them right now, will have the best education anywhere in the world. Some won't do as well. There are a couple of states like, I would say Gavin Newsom will not do well. Under the Trump administration, we're going to bring law and order and safety back to our streets. We are going to bring success back to our schools. We're going to bring prosperity back to our forgotten communities, and we are going to liberate our once great cities and make Philadelphia better and more beautiful than ever before. But saving this once incredible place begins with stopping the killing and the crime that's setting records every single week. Unbelievably, crooked Joe Biden is going around trying to claim that crime is down. He says crime is down. Crime is so much up. First of all, we have a new form of crime. It's called the Biden migrant crime, right? Biden migrant. And all these millions of people that have come in here, they're just getting warmed up because, you know, they wanted to feel it out. They didn't know what the words politically correct mean because in their country, if they did what they do over here, they'd be shot and killed instantly. They can't believe what's happening over here. So it's only going to get worse. It's going to get worse and worse right up to the election. And after the election and January 20th, it's going to get real good. It's going to get real good. Going to go fast. We're going to give immunity to our police, so if they arrest somebody or if they speak a little bit harshly, they won't be discarded, they won't be destroyed, they won't be thrown in jail because they raised their voice to a criminal. They won't lose their family, they won't lose their home, they won't lose their pension. But the FBI crime statistics Biden is pushing are fake. They're fake, just like everything else in this administration. Now he's even saying that all his mishaps were fake. They say the fake news covered him in a fake manner. That's a lot of fake news.
I'm going to give away this incredible $4,000. Wait, no, not this one. This.
All right, sorry, I was trying to get to the end. That was the end of the clip I planned on playing, and then it kept going anyway. All right, so we're back. Actually, technically, I was here the whole time. I still have to get used to the fact that when I'm playing something else, you guys can kind of still see me in the corner. Not used to that. Probably should start turning the camera off so it doesn't take up part of the screen. Anyway, so there you heard Trump a little bit in his rally at Philadelphia, in deep, deep, deep blue Philadelphia. I haven't now. Granted, the last time anything like this happened, I was like 8. I don't even think I was 8 yet. And it was Reagan. He went to the Lion's Den in New York and basically was roasted, but they still respected the fact that he went in there. Donald Trump is doing this stuff because now, well, hang on. Let me rephrase how I'm saying this. If Donald Trump is doing this, this means the internal polling is bad enough in these blue cities that they think they can make a dent. Now, it doesn't mean that he's going to win the day there, but it does mean that they think that they can make a dent in these areas. Otherwise, they wouldn't be wasting their time, their money, their manpower, or their resources to be able to do it. It also is making Joe Biden look even more weak than he already does. We're now days away from the debate, and Joe Biden's been basically holed up in Camp David doing prep work for the debate. Why does a man who's been in politics his entire adult life, who's 80-something now, need debate time prep? He shouldn't. He shouldn't. I mean, I know everybody does it to a point. I mean, hell, I've been doing this for 16 years, and I still game time. I do prep work before. I listen to stuff after. I see where I've screwed up, see where I can improve. So I understand part of it. But a week's worth? Come on, prize fighters don't sequester themselves for that long. And they're prize fighters. There's a reason he's having to do this. They're terrified, folks. Why do I say this to you? Because I want you to understand where we are. But I also don't want you to take your foot off the gas for those of you who don't want another 4 years of Joe Biden, because I personally am not sure we can survive another 4 years of Joe Biden. So this is something that we need to seriously be talking about. Also, don't believe the polls. I get it. The national polls are starting to show swings the other way. The swing states polls are still showing that Trump has sizable leads in most of them, including Pennsylvania. But I need you to realize that you cannot trust those numbers. You can't. Because one, there's a lot of real estate between now and November. In politics, the amount of time that we have between now and November is an eternity. So any number of things could happen and may happen. So I need you guys to understand that we cannot stop pushing. If you know people that are on the fence, talk to them about why they're on the fence. Don't be an asshole about it. Just talk to them. Ask them, were you better off before Joe Biden, or are you better off now? If they're better off now, then tell them to vote however they feel like they need to. I don't know a single person who can tell me that they are better off now than they were before, unless they were already rich. Because Joe Biden's policies have benefited the rich much more than they've benefited anybody that is poor and middle class. And nobody wants to admit that, but that's where we are. Because all of the money that he flooded into the economy did nothing but wind up back into the pockets of rich people, because that's what they did. That's what they did. They flooded the American market with money so people could still go spend money because we are a service-based economy now. Now, why is this so bad, might you ask, that they've decided to do this? Because this was a decision that was made a long time ago. But somebody decided a long time ago that we were going to become the world's banks. The problem with making that decision, the problem with deciding that that's what they wanted to do, the problem with deciding that that's where we were going to be and what we were going to do is that that meant that we had to be the world's currency. For the longest time, we had been, so it hasn't been a problem. The problem is we're not anymore. If you've been missing the memos, people are starting to not use American currency in international trade. This is one of the reasons why Joe Biden has been doing an in run around SCOTUS and trying to forgive student loan debt, because everybody forgets who actually holds those loans. It's not the schools, it's the federal government. Marking those as forgiven basically allows them to list that as income for the people that they're forgiving it, meaning they get to move it to another column, which helps shore up our credit score. The United States has been downgraded twice under this administration. This is something that he's trying to do to, one, buy votes, and two, shore everything up on paper to try to make sure that we don't get downgraded again. Because if you think it's bad when your credit score takes a hit, imagine what it's like when a country's credit score takes a hit. This is why so many people are starting to not use our money. Saudi Arabia just divested from the dollar. They're no longer using it in international trade to the extent that they were before. So they are going to completely eventually start to divest themselves from it unless something changes, because we look entirely weak and inept on the world stage. Now, you can say whatever you want, say I'm spouting propaganda. If you cannot see what has been being shown all over the world every time this man is on camera, and you can't understand exactly what is being done to us and that it's being done on purpose, then I don't know how to help you. I have no malice at all towards Joe Biden. I really don't. I don't think he is the person everyone thinks he is, and I think he has done some imaginable, unspeakable things with his children. Do I know that? No, but I think it. But I don't know him well enough. I do know that he has shown himself to be a liar, that he has shown himself to be a racist, that he has shown himself to be somebody who steals other people's work and tries to make it his own. Hell, he just did it again at the Normandy speech. Everybody, well, you can't really hold the plagiarism against him that he did in the 80s because that was forever ago and people change. Well, he just did it again. So what now? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you the same thing that I tell people when I counsel them. Once you see someone's true colors, even if they try to change them, eventually those colors are going to come back unless there is some sort of an epiphany, unless there is some sort of changing moment that actually encourages them and causes them to change their behavior. Whatever behaviors they're mimicking, whatever behaviors they've picked up, whatever behaviors they're trying to emulate are going to eventually fall away. This is what we've seen with the left. The left, for the longest time, has been able to push themselves as the party of the forgotten people, because everyone bought LBJ's lie. Because even though it was the Republicans that overwhelmingly supported the Civil Rights Act and managed to drag it across the finish line, LBJ was able to take full credit for it because it was his signature on the bill that passed it into law. And he did it despite the protestations of his party. And this is one of the reasons why I keep telling you, our Constitution, our way of life is under attack and has been for a very long time. And part of the reason they're able to do these things, and part of the reason that they have been able to attack everything so successfully, is nothing is being taught anywhere properly anymore because we have a cookie cutter approach to education. John and I talked about this a little bit on the inaugural episode of Going Mental the other night. I don't understand why when we have all these tests that show that different people learn in different ways, why we don't have this approach to once we understand how the kids learn, that we set up areas for them to be able to learn the way that they can, the best way that they do, because everybody's different. We don't do that. Now, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to play the clip about Donald Trump moving education back to the states. I sincerely hope that he does that, as much as I also hope that he actually decides to remove taxes on tips, because that, again, is a baby step. I don't understand. I never thought I lived in a world where I would see conservatives throwing a fit because somebody's trying to get rid of part of the taxation. But here we are. But it's because, well, it doesn't really benefit me because I'm not a server. Not everything is about you, Karen. Look, I get it. We are a bunch of rugged individualists. We think everybody should be able to stand up on their own 2 feet. We think everybody, when they fall down, should be able to get up, dust themselves off, pick themselves up by their bootstraps, and go on about their lives. I understand that. But we also have to understand that in order to get the things done that we are wanting to try to get done, we are going to have to work together to make those things happen. Individualism is great. Rugged individualism is even better, but you have to be able to come together. And I don't really understand why you're fine with the tax cuts when they impact you, but you're not fine with the tax cuts when they don't. Taxation at the federal level needs to go away. It was never supposed to be that way. Taxation at the federal level needs to end. Period. End of story. You're not ever going to convince me otherwise, and I don't really care if you like that I say it or not. Taxation at